Hey everybody, this is Adam from Ibanez Custom Guitars, and I am once again in beautiful Dayton, Nevada, visiting my folks for the weekend. Just a quick visit this time, but my dad grabbed my daughter and ran to the store for a couple minutes. So I have just enough time to film another video in the series that I like to call What I Found at Papa's House. And, you know, I mentioned this before, my dad has a number of interesting pieces of gear. He's got a bunch of different things around the house. In fact, they have a whole design decor motif here that's instrument themed. You know, they've got banjos and violins and accordions and stuff sitting around for when little kids visit, they can bang on those things. But my dad is a serious musician also, and he's got some serious gear. And when I come and visit, I'm always gravitated to pick up one of his old pieces of gear and fiddle with it. But not the fiddle, because I don't play fiddle, I play guitar. Today I wanted to take his Ibanez guitar. I believe this thing is called a Ghost Rider. That might be the name, that might be what it's called, if I remember properly. I remember him getting this guitar, might be the 90s, late 90s. I remember he got this from his buddy at church. It's pretty great. You know, it's got binding on the body. It's got a maple cap with some very light bird's eye maple with a very beautiful kind of a cherry burst, kind of like a or maybe like a honey burst, maybe like a yellowish to a, you know, cherry on the outside burst. It's got a mahogany back with a set neck. It looks like a tenon construction with a mahogany neck. The neck is very beefy, but not thick, if that makes sense. It fills the hand, but especially down towards the neck, it's pretty thin, but it fills out the hand pretty quick down here. I would say maybe it's a little wider this way than your traditional, like a standard Fender neck. Looks like it has a plastic nut. Dad, we gotta fix that, man. And you know, really solid tuners on it. A couple things about this: my dad replaced the saddles with Graphtec saddles because he hates breaking strings, and I guess at one point he was breaking a lot of strings. It's got a single volume and a single tone, which I love. That's how I love to play my instruments. Three-way toggle. But the crowning glory on this guitar is that at some point after we got it, we yanked the pickups out and we put in Seymour Duncan 59s. And those pickups, whew, oh boy, those sound so good. They're just really great pickups. You know, the other thing about this guitar, when he got it, it came with a MIDI pickup system between the bridge pickup and the actual bridge saddle with the whole thing. And so there's some you know, holes there that were filled by a luthier in Sacramento. We had this whole get up that you could run it to a MIDI synthesizer, basically a synthesizer, and you could have it sound like a flute and a piano, and it would pick that, you know, sound from your input from your guitar and run it to the MIDI synthesizer. And you know, we could never get that sound very good, but it was on there. Whatever, we pulled that off and had those holes filled. But this guitar is pretty awesome. This is basically, you know, you can tell this guitar is trying to compete with a Les Paul type guitar, you know, with the maple cap and the mahogany body. It's got nice big frets on it, rosewood fretboard, bound neck, with some really nice inlays. They're like mother of pearl and abalone three-piece inlays on it. Really beautiful. Let's stop talking and should give you some sound samples. So I'm plugged into my dad's Origin 50 amp. Right now I'm on the low setting, which I think is like maybe 5 watt or maybe 10 watt setting. I've got it pretty dirty right now, and so I can show you some different settings, just controlling overdrive using the volume and tone controls on the guitar. Okay, so start with the neck pickup. I'm on about 3 right now. On about 5. Go to 7. Full blast. Go to the bridge pickup and we'll do the same thing. I'm on 3. Go to 5. Go up to 7. And now we'll go full blast. It's got lots of tones in it. So, yeah, you can tell this guitar has got a lot of life in it, despite being decades old. You know, I'll look up how old it is based on the serial number, and I'll flash it on the screen. right now. But yeah, this guitar is pretty awesome. And unfortunately, it doesn't get played enough. You know, my dad doesn't play much lead. You know, he mostly plays acoustic. And when he does, he probably would gravitate towards his Stratocaster. But this is a great guitar, you know, and it's a worthy, you know, it's a worthy guitar. Tons of great tones. I would say it probably could use a setup right now. You know, the action's pretty low, but it could use some love. You know, the frets have some corrosion. The hardware is a little grimy. The strings are really old. Definitely could use a string change. And you know, that nut being plastic. If it was mine, I would stand for that. You got to get that puppy out of there. You know, see one of my other videos to see how I feel about that. But anyway, hey, until next time I'm at Papa's house to see what he's got floating around. Hey, you know, maybe next time we'll take a look at that amp, the Marshall Origin 50. Maybe we'll go through some of the settings on that and see some of the different tones that they've got. That's a great amp. He's got some other amps and some other guitars. But until next time, I'm Adam from Miller's Custom Guitars. See you then.